from the gun, split receivers both sides. Emery flank him there on the right side. Smith's motion, they'll flip pass it to him here. Smith's going to get the edge. He's going to turn upfield, and he's going to get into the end zone there on the right side. But yet another flag down, this one about that 8-yard line. We'll see what this is.
Right, far side 8-yard line, kind of where Schmitz made his cut into the end zone. We'll see what the call is. Holding.
That's a bit of a backbreaker there for the Boomers, unfortunately. First play from scrimmage offensively, and you get a touchdown, but it gets struck back for that holding. And, Ron, that's kind of stuff we talked about in the pregame. That's the mistakes you can't have this week. I know it seems like, hey, you're already at 14-0, no big deal, but you want to be mentally sharp going into next weekend again.
Yeah, you've got to focus. You've got to keep that focus. You've got to do what it is you're supposed to do and not make those little mistakes.
So it's going to be Pope here. Still first and goal, but back at about the 13 or 17-yard line. He's going to snap it. He's going to throw out left side over there to Emery. Emery's going to catch. He's going to fight forward, break a tackle, and get up inside the 15 down to the 14 with some tough running on the little short pass there on the left side.
Looks like he picked up, about 7?
About 7, I think.
And it was just a flat pass out of the backfield to Emery, let him go one-on-one. He avoided one defender, couldn't get away from the second one.
So that's going to set up a second and goal here now from the 14-yard line for the Boomers, trying to get up and get into the end zone on his first offense possession. Still, though, they lead 14-0. 8:20 go in this first quarter. Pope back in the gun, in motion now. Goes wide across the front of the formation. Snap, and it's going to be handoff to Emery. He's got a hole upfield, gets past the 10, fights forward, gets dragged down finally right at the goal line. I think they're going to mark him short there, but boy, had that big hole straight up the gut and almost took advantage of it into the end zone.
Right, another good job of blocking up front by that interior of the Boomer offensive line. You talk about Jamie Roca, Devin Camacho, Peyton Carter, Leighton Phillips, those guys that we don't mention a whole lot. Hunter Harrison, don't get to mention them a whole lot, but they opened up a big hole up front that time.
So it's going to be third and goal here from about the 1 for the Boomers, trying to extend to a 3-possession lead now in this first quarter. Pope in the gun. Smith is going to come in motion across the front of the formation. Snap, handoff to Emery inside. He's got the hole, and he's across the goal line and into the end zone. Denzel Emery with the second touchdown of the night, and the Boomers are going to go up 20-0 and try to make it 21-0. Denzel Emery with a nice rushing touchdown there, and again, Ron just winning at the line of scrimmage. Big hole for him to just walk into the end zone.
Offensive line is controlling the line of scrimmage without a doubt, and Denzel just kind of skipped into the end zone untouched for a 1-yard touchdown run.
Pinkard on here for the extra point for the Boomers. And there's a snap, ball down, foot into it, and that one will split the uprights and good yet again. And like that, the Boomers are up 21-0 with 7:27 left to go in this first quarter. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
It's a 3-2 count, 2 outs, bottom of the ninth, and the game is on the line. Ace pitcher Johnny Nevermiss is on the mound. He checks the runners, hits the sign.
Oh boy.
And delivers. Oh no, it's a wild pitch. Look out! Looks like somebody needs to call Stewart's Auto Glass.
If you find yourself on the wrong end of a fastball, call Stewart's Auto Glass for any auto glass problem. Chip and crack repair or replacement for windshields and door glass. 216-1822. Here comes our best pitch. Stewart's Auto Glass works on semi-trucks too. So don't foul out. Call Daryl from Stewart's Auto Glass at 216-1822. Stewart's Auto Glass. When there's a crack in your view, we know what to do.
Oh, he really got a hold of that one.
And welcome back here to the City Boomers. 21-0 here, 7:27 in this Ron Sutherland, Tyler Ricky with you live here on Z92. And of course, as mentioned earlier, Boomer TV as well with us. And always good to have their partnership and their help. Shout out to Mr. Godwin and Mr. Province, as well as the great students that contribute to that. Definitely catch that on the internet here. But Boomers kicking off here. Oh, we got a whistle before Daniel Pinker got the boot into it. An early whistle, Ron. See what this is.
I'm not sure that.
Don't see a flag.
I'm not sure that it was marked ready for play. I'm not sure, but I didn't hear the ready for play whistle. Normally, if it's an offside or something, I believe that's probably what they're going to call here.
I think you're right. I think the whistle hadn't quite blown yet because it did seem a bit quick there.
Yeah.
By Mr. Pinkett. He's excited. You know, this is a good-looking field. He's trying to drive a couple maybe through the goalpost, and as you said earlier, maybe over into that right field over there on the baseball field.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, Mr. Pinkard trying to get it lined up again here. And the Boomers, of course, getting ready for their second chance on defense to make an impact. Had to let a good 3-and-out on the first possession for the Jets. That then led to a tail-layered 47-yard punt return touchdown. Give the Boomers then a 2-score lead. Mr. Pinkard said we have the whistle this time, and he's going to begin his jog. And puts boot into this one, kicking it over there far side. It's going to go over the head of the Jets there and into the end zone, out the back of the end zone. It will be a touchback, and Western Heights going to set up at their own 20 yet again.
Yeah, kind of a line drive knuckleball kick that time that sailed all the way into the end zone. Daniel's going to put most of those into the end zone, whether it's a kick like that one or whether it's a high towering kick. He's got a good leg, one of the top kickers in the state of Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, imagine that, being able to say, well, yeah, I didn't quite get that one well enough and still into the end zone for a touchback. It's crazy. So it'll be Chris Worley out there leading the Jets at quarterback, and that pistol's got Chitwood behind him there. Snap to Worley. They're going to hand off to Chitwood. He's going to try and make a move. Almost got corralled. He busts out of it, though, gets across the 30, or across the 20, excuse me, checks his feet. Ball comes out late, though, but they're going to say he was down with forward progress there at about the 23-yard line is where you're going to mark it up there. So gain of 3. Once again, Boomers have dead rights in the backfield. Just couldn't quite come up with the tackle.
Right, and when this Western Heights team lines up offensively, you're going to see some 11 and some 21 personnel. Basically what that means is you've either got one or two backs with a tight end. They line up with a tight end almost every time, and that gives the Boomers an opportunity to recognize the strong side of the field, and they are kind of a strong side-centered team. It seems to be that's where they like to run.
Snap here to Worley. He's going to drop back to pass. Oh, he is sacked in the backfield right there. And it looks like that was Ethan Matt, if I'm not mistaken, get it across first. There's a host of Boomers.
That's
was that
number
Big Nash?
20.
No? Can't tell.
God, these gold numbers are hard to read out there. Linebacker on the right side for the Boomers is probably, I believe, that's normally.
Should be maybe Holloway. Might be Mr. Holloway there. Bradley Holloway maybe? No, but that's,
We couldn't see who it was, but it was a loss of, what do we got? They haven't moved the sticks yet, but it is a big loss. 9-yard loss.
Back to 11. A little bit, well, no, excuse me. Back to about the 13 there, it looks like. So 3rd and long here. Snap goes to Worley. He's going to have to crowd and scramble out there to the right side. Does get forward for a few yards, almost up to the 20. Gets bumped out of bounds right there at the 18-yard line on 3rd down. So gets some yards back from the sack, but still going to set up a 4th and long, and Western Heights probably going to have to punt here again.
Yeah, I think they're probably going to have to put the butt. It's 4th and behind the chains, so they'll have to punt to Laird again, who will be standing about his 45, about the Jets' 45-yard line.
Cepeda on here to punt. Patrick Cepeda, the junior, gets the snap. Oh, this one almost blocked.
It is blocked.
It is blocked, and they're going to throw a flag on it, though, but it bounces all the way back to the Jets. It looks like 1-yard line right now.
Well, he ran into the kicker, but if you make if the punt is blocked or partially blocked, there can't be any running into the kicker, so we'll see what they call here. And it was obviously blocked. Or to me, it looked obvious that it was blocked. We'll see. Personal foul.
They're going to call it against the Boomers.
Against the Boomers. And there was kind of a slight little leg kick there that he looked like he maybe really wasn't quite sure what to call. Now, I thought the ball was tipped. And if you make contact with the ball and you block the kick, there can't be any running into the kicker. So they are probably saying that he did not.
Yeah.
That he did not touch the ball. So that's going to be a 15-yard personal foul penalty. They're going to call roughing, not running into.
And so that's going to be an automatic 1st down for the Jets. So instead of the Boomers getting it once again up inside the Jets' 10-yard line, starting with a 1st and goal after all that, it's instead going to be 1st down for Western Heights. Ball is going to be up to about the 33-yard line here for Western Heights. They have new life here. 5:49 left to go in this 1st quarter. The Boomers do lead 21-0 at this point.
First down of the ball game for the Jets.
It's going to be Worley back in the pistol here. Chitwood behind him. Low snap, but he corrals it. Hands it off to Chitwood. Chitwood makes a move up to get a little bit. Fights forward. Able to get about a yard, maybe 2 on that one, despite the good moves.
Looks like they're going to get him just a little bit over. Officially call it a yard. Boomers up front are just, like we said, they're controlling the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. Jet offensive line is not able to move those guys out of the way. And then we've got our linebackers, our outside linebackers actually rolled up towards the line of scrimmage. So
all pressure
gives them a lot less. We've got seven players in the box basically.
Worley back in the pistol again on 2nd and 9. Here gets the snap. Going to try to roll out. Runs into Nate Soto there a bit, but he will get out there and flip a pass over to Dallas Fields Jr., his favorite target you're talking about the pregame, and it couldn't quite complete a tad high for Mr. Fields, and that will bring up a 3rd and 9.
Kind of a busted play. Ran into his back in the backfield who was supposed to protect on the backside, and he didn't get moved out of the way, and Worley ran into him, but he was able to recover and get his feet set and deliver the ball, but it was delivered high.
That was Nate Soto in the back there. And we've seen him take some snaps at running back. Also, we talked about his impact defensively. Just a freshman. Going to have some of those mistakes here and there. 3rd and 9 now for the Jets here. It's going to be Worley out there, the pistol. Soto is still in there behind him. Got a couple of split receivers and a tight end as well. Worley gets snapped. He's going to drop back, look to pass here. He's going to fire one over there. And it's picked off by Lucas Shirky, and he's going the other way. He might be gone here. 10-5 touchdown. Pick 6 by Lucas Shirky over there on that left side. Worley floated one just a bit too far, and easy track down there for Lucas Shirky, and another extracurricular touchdown, if you will, here for the Boomers.
Right, 44-yard interception return for a touchdown. Shirky just did a good job. He kind of settled out there and just waited, read the quarterback's eyes, and was able just to pick that off. And there was nobody out there with Shirky. He ran it back, and that's a 44-yard interception return for a touchdown.
And untouched. I mean, he was gone as soon as he had that one. So the Boomers now trying to complete a 4-possession lead here in this first quarter. Pinkerton on for the extra point, trying to make it 28-0. Snap. Ball is down, kick is up, and good by Pinkerton straight through the pipes. And the Boomers are up 28-0 over the Western Heights Jets here early on in this one. As mentioned, 4:48 left to go in this first quarter. And Ron, I mean, you just talked about a little bit before that snap on 3rd down there, the pressure. The Boomer pressure right now is causing chaos. I mean, Chitwood, although he's made some good moves and some tough runs, it's pretty much as soon as he's getting the ball, there's somebody in the backfield trying to tackle him. I mean, that makes it tough on an offense.
It is. He's going to have people in his face all night long when he tries to throw the ball. They're just overmatched up front with Harrison, Matt, and Camacho, and then also with those linebackers, you know, Holloway and Nash Hunter, and they just, you know, they've just got them outmatched at this point.
28-0 lead here for the Boomers, and of course we'll take a look at halftime. But you know, an interesting week to prep here for Bishop McGinnis. Of course, McGinnis, and kind of a matchup that's going to tell us a lot about what they are against a bit of a feisty Laud Nike squad.
Yeah, we're going to find out some things about our district this evening.
Yeah.
I mean, you got 3 ranked teams playing 3 unranked teams, but those ranked teams, you know, Guthrie's the only one that's undefeated. You've got one that's 1-2 and one that's 1-1, I believe.
Yes, sir. Well, Pinkerton's lined this up for another kickoff here. Gets the whistle, has the hand in the air, and begins his jog towards the ball. Puts a boot in this one, a nice end-over-ender. Bit of a side spin to it, and it's fielded back there in the end zone by Chitwood, and it's going to roll out of the back of the end zone. So he kind of wanted to field, but thought better of it, trying to catch in his own end zone.
Boomers have had 1 possession. Western Heights has had 3. Boomers have scored on every possession, whether it's ours or theirs. So
Special teams included.
Special teams and defense.
That's going to be music to Coach Luchin's ears right there. I'm pretty sure if you quizzed him right now, he would take more defensive and special teams touchdowns than offensive at times.
Absolutely.
So it's going to be Worley out there as well. Again, here setting up his own 20 for the Jets. 1st and 10 for Western Heights. Worley will get the snap. They'll hand off to Chitwood. He tries to go up to God. He is met in the hole and drugged down there. All right at the 20. Nash Hunter said, "Hello, sir."
Initially hit by Hunter, finished off by Bradley Holloway, and no gain on the play. And, yeah, he took a big stick from Nash Hunter that time.
That's what Nash lives for right there, is being able to meet a running back in the hole for better or for worse.
Both sides of the defense playing a good game so far.
2nd and 10 now for the Jets. 4:10 left to go here in this first quarter. Worley back in the pistol. Gets the snap, a bit awkward, but he handles it. Nash Hunter again immediately in the backfield as Chitwood got the handoff. And Nash Hunter going to be able to tackle him in the backfield for a loss of 5 yards at the 15 right there.
Well, and now Nash is just laying his ears back and hitting one of those A-gaps. I think it looks like he's hitting the weak side A-gap every time, and he's there almost as soon as the running back gets the ball.
Now, is that a call that Derek Luchin is kind of giving him, or is he telling Nash, hey, pick your gap?
You know, you can give a call. You can send the nose guard to the strong side or the weak side and let your middle linebacker fill the other A gap. But you know, sometimes when a kid sees something, then you're going to let him go.
3rd and long here, and Worley's going to roll out and try to float a pass over the top into a crowd of Boomers. Almost picked off, but it was knocked away there. Looked like Worley was looking for Felipe Melendez out there deep, just past the sticks, and it's going to be incomplete and bring up 4th and 15.
You know, I would think that, you know, situation-wise, you have to think about your situation, but a kid that's played as long as Nash has and has as much football knowledge as he does, you might give him that green light to kind of make his own decisions, but you don't want to get too carried away and do it in a situation where it hurts you.
Cepeda puts a boot into this kick here on 4th down. It's not going to be fielded by the Boomers. It's going to take a roll, right almost to the 50-yard line. It will be right at the 50-yard line, so that's where the Boomers will take over for their 2nd possession. It looks like Coach Luchin has effectively said, hey, Talon, just kind of, let this one roll back there, and that way you can get some offensive reps at this point.
Right. They didn't even have anybody deep to return the punt that time. It was a 35-yard punt. And Boomers will take over right at midfield.
So 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. 3:05 left to go in this first quarter. The Boomers' 2nd possession on offense here as they lead 28-0 already in this ballgame. Once out there, it's going to be Wyatt Pope in the gun here. Going to be Denzel Emery flanking him, and you got trip receivers over there to the right, single to the left with Later. Smith's in motion. They snap to Pope. He's going to take himself here off the QB draw. Tries to fight forward. Ball's out. Ball's on the ground. And there's a scrum for it. And it looks like, I believe the Boomer. No, Western Heights recovers the fumble. So mental mistake there. But Pope trying to fight forward for some more yards. And the ball, I guess, took a little bit of an awkward hit and popped out as he was only going to get about a couple yards. And Western Heights catches a break.
Well, he was fighting for extra yardage. And you're right. Somebody put a helmet on the ball, just knocked it out of there, and Pope coughed it up. You don't like to see that, even though you're up by 4 scores. You want to play good ball. You want to play mistake-free ball, and avoid those kind of mistakes.
And kind of a tough one. We saw a similar one last week with Denzel Emery. That one, of course, a bit more costly, but sometimes it's hard to fight off those type of mistakes. Worley here on 1st and 10 for the Jets. Back of the gun. He's going to drop back to pass. He's going to float one over the middle. Has a man deep, but it's picked off by Taylor Laird underneath. Laird's got it on about the 25 and almost gets up to the 30, but he'll be tackled right there at the 28-yard line. Boomers are going to start right back on offense here for their 3rd possession at their own 28, and there's a late flag as well. And it looks like that flag is going to go against the Boomers. That is a tough break. Didn't quite see the call.
We'll see if that's before or after the possession change. It looks like it's going to be before the possession change. And they're going to mark off, it looks like 10 and 15.
Oh, my, it was
roughing the passer.
Yeah. As tough for the Boomers there. So Chris Worley was trying to go over the top there to Herman Martinez, the freshman, who he had kind of on a post, but underthrew it just a bit, Ron, and led to that pick. But it's wiped away on the roughing the passer. And now Western Heights inside the Boomer 40 to about the Boomer 37 here, 1st and 10. Worley back gun, takes the snap. He'll hand off Chitwood. Chitwood makes a move, makes man miss. Gets up to the 35 right there and gets struck down by a couple of Boomers and stuck. So a couple yard gain right there by Chitwood. Once again, another scenario where you maybe had him in the backfield, but he makes a nifty move.
Yeah, he makes a good move. Gets out there and gets a couple of yards. Again, Western Heights has 2 first downs, both by penalty. In the ball game, and this is the first time they've been in Boomer territory the entire ball game.
And we've got a timeout here, a little bit of an injury timeout. It looks like we're going to have to keep it here. One of the big guys stretching out a bit down there, but Ron, talk a little bit more. You know, you just kind of said it there. 2 first downs for Western Heights, but both on penalty. I'm sure Coach Luchin probably will talk a little bit at halftime about that to the guys because, I mean, we stress that you don't want to make the mental errors.
Just be mental, mate. You know, don't do the things that are going to hurt you in a big game.
Right.
This is a time to practice on avoiding those type of mistakes. And, you know, that roughing the passer penalty is really tough because it's somewhat of a judgment call. I mean, do you get 1 step? Do you get 2 steps? You got a guy coming full speed at the quarterback. He releases the ball, you know, and I was watching downfield. I didn't see what happened to the quarterback. But, again, you know, sometimes it's tough to pull up and stop and you know, especially when you've got your adrenaline flowing and you've got your ears laid back and so, you know, nonetheless, it's a penalty, a big penalty against the Boomers, and you know they're going to have the ball about the 35-yard line. We've got a timeout, but we're also going to have a water break timeout.
On top of the injury time, it looks like it was Dallas Fields Jr., the sophomore, that may have been cramping up a bit. He's kind of getting looked at on the tape. He walked off under his own power, of course, but young sophomore, good body frame. I mean, he's got the height, it looks like. But a good solid 6 foot there for Western Heights. Now we're back here on offense as the Jets have it at their Boomer 35-yard line, 2nd and about 8 here. Worley back in the pistol. He'll take the snap. He'll hand off to Chitwood. Has a little bit of a hole, but then has a man there, and is going to be instantly drugged down by a couple Boomers. Looks like Ethan Madden, maybe Holloway, Bradley Holloway.
Holloway with the initial contact in the backfield, spun him around. Ethan came in and helped finish it off, and basically no gain on that play will bring up 3rd down.
And it's kind of interesting, Ron, because you see these holes open up for Chitwood, but the Boomers are just doing an excellent job of filling them. I mean, you think for a second, okay, he's got something to work with, and just like that, a Boomer's on top of it.
Well, that time Holloway was lined up on the weak side without a tight end, and he just, I guess he probably had the go sign, and he met Chitwood in the backfield.
3rd and 8 here now. Worley dropping back to pass. He's got to fire quickly. Has a man. It's Melendez. Melendez catches it, gets across the 30 to the 25-yard line right there, and is finally dragged down just past the sticks. And he was open underneath. The Boomers played it a bit deep. And Melendez, of course, a solid athlete out there as well. The junior makes a big play.
Yeah, he did. He got out there in the flats in the open area. The Boomers giving some cushion, playing that zone defense over the top. And there was nobody out in the flats that time. And the corner had to come up and make the play, but it was a gain of 10 and 1st down.
He marked at the 26, not the 25 there. So Western Heights threatening red zone territory here. 1st and 10. Just under about a minute to go in the 1st quarter. Boomers lead 28-0. Worley takes snap. He'll hand off there to Chitwood. Chitwood's going to come back, find a little bit of space there. Gets across the 25, down inside to about the 23-yard line. Found a little bit of space over there on the left side, bouncing it out.
Again, good move by Chitwood, the backfield. The hole was plugged up. Made a little jab step to his left and was able to cut up in a hole and pick up a few yards instead of getting stopped in the backfield.
Looks like Western Heights going to have to run at least one more play here in the quarter as they'll set up about, a 2nd and 7. Got 25 seconds left to go in this 1st quarter. It's going to be Worley back in the pistol here. Couple split receivers. Chitwood behind him. Snap to Worley. He's going to look back, drop back to pass. Has a man over on the left side, but can't complete it. It's going to be incomplete through behind him. It looks like that was Melendez again. Kind of ran a similar little out route on that left side and just couldn't come up with the connection.
Yeah, got out in the flats, and you're right. He settled out there near the sideline. The ball was thrown low. Worley was not able to get it into him, and you know, that's just an incomplete pass, but it allows them one more play here before the end of the 1st quarter.
3rd and 7 here for the Jets now. 13.6 seconds left on the clock. Boomers lead 28-0 in this 1st quarter. Boomers trying to come up with a stop here. Western Heights has put together a little bit of a drive. Worley back in the pistol. Take the snap. He'll turn around, hand off to Chitwood. Chitwood's having to bounce out of a few tackles, but to no avail as the Boomers just on top of him right there. That being Hunter Harrison making the tackle as well as a loose crowd. I couldn't see which linebacker that was. They got the first contact on, but that's going to end the 1st quarter as Western Heights trails 28-0. And we'll come back and they will have a 4th down and long here to decide on. This is Boomer football on Z92.
I'm sure you have heard the phrase, you get what you pay for. Shopping for home and auto insurance is more than just finding the lowest rates. Having an insurance agent that helps you compare and understand the coverage can be priceless. Kelly Sampson and Christy Bridges with Wise Agency have years of experience and will do the shopping for you. Insurance companies like AAA, Progressive, Mercury, Safeco, Travelers, American Modern are just a few of the highly rated companies that the Wise Agency can write for your home and auto coverage. Look for the AAA Insurance Office located across from Sonic at 1915 Oklahoma Avenue and dare to compare. Let's go, Boomers.
Harper Sanitation has been serving the needs of Northwest Oklahoma since 1971. That's 50 years. We pride ourselves on our services. We offer household, commercial, and construction waste management to leave you with a mess-free environment. Harper Sanitation is fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Remember, when you need quality sanitation services from a local trusted company, choose Harper Sanitation. Come check us out online at harpersanitation.net or give us a call at 580-256-5835. You'll be glad you did.
And welcome back here to Oklahoma City. It's Boomer Football live on Z92. Boomer TV doesn't know. Check that out. Ron Sutherland and Tyler Richmond as we get the second quarter about underway. Boomers lead 28-0. And Western Heights, of course, has a 4th and 15 from the Boomer 30. And Ron mentioned it during the break. They are going to kick this field goal here.
This is going to be a 48-yard attempt.
This is junior Johan Cruz, who is the kickoff man. He's going to be coming in for this place kick. Snap, ball's down, and kick is up, and it might just be, and it is no good.
Well, he had the distance. It was a line drive. He had the distance, was just wide left.
Just a bit wide left, but hey, I mean, you told me, hey, they'll kick it, and sure enough, Johan Cruz did have the distance and just couldn't quite rein in accuracy-wise. That would have been the first points for the Jets of the season on the board, but instead now the Boomers going to take over at their own 30-yard line here. No, excuse me, they'll put it at the 20. And so, I mean, what do you make of that defensive possession, Ron? Some good fill gaps there by the Boomers, kind of stopped that one, but
it was. I mean, they did the things that they needed to do. They gave up one 10-yard pass, a couple of penalties, extended the drive for the Jets. You've got to stop those. You've got to avoid those.
1st and 10 here for Pope. For the Boomers, takes the snap from the gun, hands it inside to Denzel Emery. Denzel finds a little bit of a hole, gets across the 25, dragging people, gets across the 30 up to about the 34-yard line, or 33-yard line, excuse me, right there. And Denzel Emery, boy, it didn't look like there was a lot there, but instead found a hole and drug about 3 or 4 Jets with him for a few more yards.
Yeah, just running hard, picking up some extra yards.
It's like in total a 13-yard gain for Emery. Of course, a first down for the Boomers here. Ball's going to be set up at that 33-yard line. It's going to be Pope back in the gun. Trip receivers over there to that left side. Pope's going to drop back pass. He's going to look that way to the left side. Has a man. Throws it just a bit over him there. Looks like it was Zane Weibel over there on the out route about the 40. Couldn't quite get that one completed. Just a tad high, but a good looking route right there by Weibel. Set up. It's 2nd and 10 here for the Boomers. We are just underway in the second quarter. 11:19 left to go in this first half as the Boomers lead 28-0 here.
It's tough at a time like this, for your kids to like I said, stay focused and keep in the game, but it also might give an opportunity here in a little bit to let some of those younger players get some good varsity time.
Absolutely. Pope takes the snap here. He hands it off again to Emery. Emery's going to hurdle him, man. Get across the 40-yard line, get down to about the 42, and it looks like maybe just short of the sticks right there, but another spirited run up the gut by Emery, showing a bit of athleticism.
Right, another 8-yard gain, hurdled a player, juked another player, shot through the hole. He gets in that little hole, and he kind of gets sideways and makes himself skinny, and is able to pick up 8 yards there.
Sets up a 3rd and 1 here for the Boomers. Trying to convert first 3rd down of the game for them to deal with. Pope's back in the gun. Man in motion across the formation. They will hand off inside to Emery again. He's going to follow some blockers. Gets across the 1st down marker 45. Gets up to the 50 and falls forward and gets marked down at the 49-yard line in Jets territory there. Nice solid run. 1st down, and Emery just Ronnie continues to look more and more comfortable week after week.
Yeah, and another 9-yard game. Coming into tonight, he had 25 carries for 82 yards through the last 2 games coming into tonight, and he's probably going to at least double that total here this evening.
Off to a good start for sure. 1st and 10 for the Boomers at the Jets' 49-yard line here. Pope back in the gun. 10:26 to go in the first half. Pope takes snap, fakes the handoff. He's got himself. He's going to follow some blockers up to get across the 45, almost down to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him at the 41, and a good first down run for Wyatt Pope.
Yeah, another good run for Pope, 8 yards. And when they do that, they run the same look as they do when they hand the ball off to Emery on that little, counter play on the backside. And, you get people, you give, and all of a sudden you keep the ball and run it up the middle. And, those guys are looking for Emery to go off the backside, and Pope's able to pick up some good yardage.
2nd and 2 here for the Boomers. Pope back in the gun, couple split receivers. He'll drop back to pass. He's looking, fires over there in the middle. He's got Taylor Laird across the middle at the 25, gets to the 20. He's got some space, 15-10, and he's going to go. Taylor Laird takes a nice deep end route, turns it into a touchdown for the Boomers, and just like that, they'll extend this to a nearly 35-0 lead.
Right, 42-yard touchdown pass, and again, Laird was just able to get out there, run that little post route across the middle, get behind the linebackers in front of the safeties, and then once he caught the ball, it was no contest. They couldn't catch him, and he just kind of loped into the end zone.
So 9:33 left to go in this first half. Daniel Pinkert on for the extra point for the Boomers, trying to make this a 35-0 game. Snap is down, the kick is up, and that one, although a bit into the corner, is good there. Mr. Pinkert will make it 35-0 in favor of the Boomers. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
Core Travel Plaza in Sealing recognizes it takes more than an average effort to accomplish big things, like many outstanding athletes.
What was the yardage on that?
It's more than your average gas station. We have everything from gas to a car wash. Dine in and enjoy tasty food and free Wi-Fi, or drive through and keep going. Gore Travel Plaza is the best one-stop in Oklahoma. They have everything you need while traveling. Stop and see. You'll be amazed. Gore's Travel Plaza, Highway 270 North in Sealing.
Welcome back here. Boomer Football live on Z92. Boomers taking a 35-0 lead with 9:33 left to go in this first half. 42-yard touchdown strike. Wide open to Taylor Laird and Ron. You just see the athleticism by Taylor, and as you mentioned, gets behind those linebackers in front of the safeties. And once he catches it, all he has to do is just turn upfield and turn on the Jets.
Right. It was a 6-play, 80-yard drive. Only took 2 minutes and 20 seconds off the clock. And like you said, Boomers up 35-0, about to kick off again to Western Heights.
Definitely getting close to that time that you were talking about there a few minutes ago, where the younger guys probably getting close to get some reps, I would imagine, after halftime, get some good looks on varsity here. There's Mr. Pinkert on for the kickoff here. Took his time to line it up on the tee. Begins his jog towards it, puts a boot into it. This one a bit higher. End over ender. It's going to be fielded at about the 12-yard line there on the return now. Looks like that's Chitwood. He bounces out to the outside, gets across the 20, fights for it, gets up to the 25 here. And not a bad return there for Cameron Chitwood, and that's where Western Heights will take over at their own 25-yard line.
And that's the first time that they've actually had a return, as Pinkert has put the other kickoffs into the end zone. This time he's kicking against that wind, what wind there is. It's
right.
about 10 miles an hour out of the south. It's just a great night for football here at Western Heights.
Oh, you got the lights over the city, of course, OKC in the backdrop, like you're saying, and it's cooled down quite a bit. We're down to about 80 degrees, maybe getting closer to the high 70s, so definitely couldn't ask for much better on a mid-September night. So, as mentioned, Western Heights going to take over here at their own 25-yard line. Chris Worley still in at quarterback here in the pistol with Chitwood behind him, a couple split receivers. Snap to Worley, hand off to Chitwood up the gut. He's got to fight through a tackler or two. Not going to get back to line of scrimmage, though, as the Boomers get to him quick. Chitwood had to dodge. Looks like Hunter Harrison, then just tackled by a host of the Boomer defense.
Right, Harrison kind of got in there quickly, and then Matt was in there, and also Lucas Shirky was in there from his safety position that shut him down in the backfield.
So they're going to mark it officially a loss of 1 there. Ball's going to be on the 24-yard line here. Set up 2nd and 11 for the Jets. Well, he's going to sit up in the pistol. A couple split receivers as usual here, and Chitwood behind him in the backfield. Snap to him. He's going to fake the handoff. He's going to have to sprint out. roll out to the right. He's going to side tuck and run, cuts back a little bit, gets across 25 and gets falling forward there up to about the 30-yard line. And you see it right there. We talked about it a little bit, Ron. Chris Worley, the senior, pretty much putting the offense on the back and right there showing a bit of that where to say, hey, none's there, I'm going to tuck it and run.
Yeah, and he made a good cut back against the grain to pick up a few yards and makes it 3rd and 5. But you're right, he got out to the corner, looked back inside, there was a cut back lane, he just took it and picked up a few extra yards.
So 3rd, and I would say definitely manageable here for the Jets. 3rd and 5, 8 minutes to go in this first half. Boomers lead 35-0. Worley in the pistol, takes a snap. He'll hand it off to Chitwood here. Chitwood's got a bit of a hole. He's going to get across it, get up to the 35, fight forward, get up to about the 38-yard line there, and that's enough for the first down. And Chitwood lowered that shoulder once he saw the hole and took advantage.
Yeah, he did. He got through the hole, and it looked like Zathan Klingenpeel was in there, made an early hit, getting his pads wet a little bit in the ball game, but another good run coming from Chitwood.
Yeah, seniors back there, you can tell, always trying to fight forward for sure. 1st and 10 for the Jets here at the Boomer 38-yard line. Worley's going to hand off again to Chitwood up the gut. Tries to make a little bit of a move, but he's going to be dropped right there at the line of scrimmage. Looks like by Ethan Matt, big D lineman coming in, making the play.
Right, no gain. And again, Ethan won that battle with the center right there at the line of scrimmage, able to make the stop.
And Ron, he was relieved this week when we were talking to him to not have to face the extreme size that you get, the Clintons, the Weatherfords, the Bethnys of the world.
Right.
Although he knows soon you're going to have to go against the Clintons and the McGinnises of the world, but kind of a bit of a reprieve here this week for him in that sense. 2nd and 10 here for the Jets now. 6:50 to go in this first half. Boomers lead 35-0. Worley in that pistol look. He'll take snap, drop back to pass. He's going to look over there on the left side. Has a man, and it's a bit too far. And it was Felipe Mendez out there on an out route. Was at about the 45-yard line. Would have been a decent little game, but just a bit off on the pass.
Yeah, an out route from his slot position, or he's actually lined up as a flanker on the tight end side. And good coverage from the Boomers, and also a little errant pass out there.
Those are tough routes to hit. I mean, those out routes take the right timing, mind you, before you have any good coverage over the top as well. 3rd and 10 here for the Jets now. Boomer defense creeping up. It looks like he might be bringing some pressure. Worley's back in that pistol. He'll take the snap. They will hand off to Chitwood here on 3rd down. Chitwood's going nowhere very quickly as a host of Boomers right on there as he tried to bounce it out that left side. And that's going to set up a 4th and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Matt was in there and Harrison, and then somebody from the backside. I couldn't tell who it was. It was probably, I think, big Luis Corral. There was no gain.
It's 4th and here for the Jets, and they're going to set up for a punt, and it's going to be Zapata on for another kick.
He's only about 9 yards back from the line of scrimmage.
Maybe trying more of a sky kick here. We'll see. Snap a bit long, but he will corral. Oh, he drops it, trying to run out for the rugby-style kick, and he's on the ground, has a fall on it. And that means the Boomers are going to set up and take over inside the Western Heights 30 at about the 28-yard line here, so they will start in some plus field position.
Fumbled the snap on the punt, and, yeah, it gives the Boomers great field position down at Western Heights 28-yard line.
Seeing if we got some of the twos in there. It looks like most of the ones still in there for the Boomers. I expect to see that probably up until half. And then after half is when you'll see the youngest.
You'll probably see the ones get a couple of series in the second half before they take the rest of the night off.
And Pope back in the gun. He'll hand off inside to Nash Hunter. Nash going to lower that shoulder, get across about the 25-yard line there and fall forward to the 23. Nice little solid 5-yard gain on 1st down.
Yeah, first carry for Nash, and I know they don't need to overuse any of these players tonight. Denzel's not playing any defense. Nash first carry in on offense, and now Emery's back in place of Nash.
2nd and 5 here for the Boomers. Just over 5 minutes to go in this first half. They lead 35-0. Pope's back in the gun. Emery flanking him. Snap to him. He'll look at the read. He'll keep it himself. He's got a big hole. Gets up across the 15, down to the 10, and maybe inside the 10 right there to the 9-yard line for a big first down. And a good look right there for Wyatt Pope on the keeper.
Yeah, that was a good gain of about 9 or 10 yards. And again, he just popped right back up the middle and used his agility and his size to run down there. And it looks like the nose of the ball is going to be marked right on the 10-yard line.
Well, that's tough. They thought initially they had it on the 9. Either way, it's going to set up a 1st and goal, but this is kind of a first and long goal.
Chains are laying on the ground, so 1st and goal.
So Pope's going to be back in the gun here. 1st and goal from the 10. It's going to be Smits in motion. They'll flip it to Smits. He's going to try to get the left end. He does. Shakes off tackle. 5. Tiptoes down the sideline and gets into the end zone for the touchdown for Parker Smits. The Boomers going to go up, trying to go up 42-0 in this one now. Parker Smits on the end around and a nice looking tiptoe down the sideline.
Yeah, it was. Just put that guy in motion, and they call it a jet sweep. It's really technically a pass.
Yeah, they've started calling that a pass.
Statistically, it goes in as a pass, so a 10-yard pass from Pope to Schmitz, and it was all Schmitz, and just able to tiptoe down the sidelines into the end zone.
Pinkert on for the extra point here. Ball is down, kick is up, and that one is good as well. The Boomers now lead 42-0 in this one.
Schmitz, and it was all Schmitz, and just able to tiptoe down the sidelines into the end zone.
Pinkert on for the extra point here. Ball is down, kick is up, and that one is good as well. The Boomers now.
Every trip while keeping your fans safe. The Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire is safer for longer than leading competitors. Stop by High Plains Tire and ask for the Michelin Cross Climate 2. Safe refers to blood braking when tires are new and 33 seconds of an inch. Tires eventually wear out and should be replaced. For details, visit the dealer or Michelin.ca.
And back here as the Boomers lead 42-0. 4:41 left to go. Just completed another offensive touchdown drive. This time it was right over what they technically call a little bit of a foot pass to Parker Smits on the end around there from 10 yards out, and the score. And Ron, I mean, you're riding furiously on these drive charts. It's hard to keep
I
up.
tell you, 4 possessions, and the Boomers have scored on all 4 possessions that they've had the ball. They've also scored once on defense on a interception return for a touchdown, and then punt return for a touchdown, and opening kickoff return for a touchdown. So we've scored just about every way you can. Haven't covered a fumble in the end zone yet.
But yeah, I mean, converted on all 3 phases of the game, though, as you mentioned. Pinkert has lined this one up here on the tee for another kickoff. Western Heights will get this ball back with an opportunity here to kind of work a 4-minute offense, if you will. Getting the whistle now. Pinkert's hand is in the air, and he got the jog, the run up, puts a boot into that one. Bit of an end over render, this time over there to the right side. Filled at the 8-yard line. Down the sideline to the 20, to the 30. Tiptoes out of bounds. That was Chitwood again right there. Another hard run. They will mark him, though, outside, out of bounds, up there at about the 33-yard line. So Cameron Chitwood, you give him a chance to get downhill. He could be a little dangerous.
He does. He has good speed. You give him some, you give him some space to run in, and it doesn't take him long to hit that full speed, and he does have good speed out here. And as shown right there, that was a 25-yard return, just
about, yeah,
kind of like that.
So Western Heights going to sit up at their own 33-yard line here for this possession. 4:35 left to go in this first half. They trail 42-0. It's Worley in the pistol. Going back his man off the line a little bit out there on the outside. Gets snapped. This one's a bit outside, but he's got to chase it. He crowds it, picks it up, spins off a tackle, but he's going to get smacked in the backfield. About the, looks like the 28-yard line right there for a big loss on first down due to the bad snap.
Yep, fumbled snap, loss of 6, and, just little things just happen when you're struggling. The little things seem to go against you instead of in your favor.
Yeah, it's that momentum, right? We talk about that battle quite consistently. Got to be tone sitters out there. And when it's all kind of going south, it goes south. So that's going to set up a 2nd and 15 here for Western Heights. Under 4 minutes to go now in this half. Play clock's down to about 2 here. They're going to have to snap quick. We'll see if they get off. They do not.
Timeout.
Oh, you get the timeout. You're correct. Coach McCarty takes that timeout. We'll stay here, of course, with it real quick. Real quick, though, Do want to thank our sponsors while we can. High Plains Tire, our gold sponsor, AAA Insurance, Northwest Physical Therapy, High Plains Technology Center, Dairy Queen, our halftime sponsor, which is coming up here shortly. Stewart's Auto Glass, Goings Home Furnishing, K&S Tire, Harper Sanitation, and Bentech Hometown Insurance. And Ron, why don't we have a quick chance to talk about it a little bit here? What are you seeing so far in this first half that you like, and just kind of in terms of what do you have to clean up a little bit? Is it just the penalties? Is there anything you're seeing?
I think you got to clean up the penalties a little bit. Again, you're up 6 touchdowns, you're up 6 scores, and the focus is really not going to be there a whole lot. And you're going to make some of those mistakes, but just clean up some of the penalties. Work hard. Continue to work on what you're supposed to do on every play. Make sure you perform your assignment. Don't get lazy. Go hard every play, and just continue to play hard as long as you're in the ball game.
Western Heights, of course, we talked about pregame. They've dressed 20 out for this one, so maybe we won't get to see their 2s and 3s as much because you don't have that opportunity. So the Boomers, of course, getting a good chance here to kind of work against some varsity level talent, if you will, for those 2s and 3s after halftime. It's like a 2nd and long here. It's going to be Worley takes a snap. He's going to roll out to the left a bit, floats a pass. He's got a man. It's complete about the 35, and he's hit and drugged back to about the, looks like 34-yard line right there. And that was Ben Sparks, the sophomore, with the catch there on the left side. They
will give him progress out to the 34-yard line, so a gain of 6 on the pass completion. And again, it was a short pass out into the flats. Boomers giving some cushion. Again, you don't want to let anybody get behind you.
Right,
They've got a couple of guys that can run, but again, just play it safe. Don't let anybody behind you. If they're going to complete a short pass inside, that's just like a 3-yard run. So
3rd and 10 here for the Jets now. Worley back in the gun. He'll hand off to Chitwood. Boy, he has missed the line of scrimmage by about 2 or 3 Boomers, including Nash Hunter. It looks like maybe Zane Weibel as well out there. No, excuse me, Bradley Holloway.
Bradley Holloway made the initial hit, finished up by Weibel and Hunter.
Boy, that was a pop right there, Ron. We heard that one.
Loss of 2 brings up 4th and 10, and I think they're going to have to punt again.
Patrick Zapata is on here for the punt.
They're not getting in any hurry, that's for sure.
No, they're not letting this clock run a bit, down to 2:40 before the half, and I'm sure Coach Lucia not necessarily in a hurry as well himself. Zapata, though, going to get the snap. Puts a boot into this one quickly. This one is a straight-up kick, though, and it's not going to go very far. Gets to 45 in the Boomer territory. Takes a bad bounce. The Boomers are going to start with it on their own 46-yard line with 2:24 left to go in this first half. Already up 42-0. And Zapata he hadn't been able to quite get it. I mean, he tries to put the boot into it, but it seems like it comes off a bit more on top of the foot rather than the end of the foot.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, you got to point that toe to get some distance out of it. And he's probably, they've got so many things that they have to work on, and those little things sometimes get pushed to the side.
Right.
But, you got your toe pointing up in the air, you're going to get a high, short punt. You get it pointed downfield, you're going to get a little bit more distance out of it.
Pope in the pistol now, 1st and 10. He'll fake the handoff to Emery. He's going to roll out to his left. He's got a man wide open over there. Catch made. Up to the 30, down to the 25, knocked out of bounds. It was Zane Weibel who was up over there wide open behind the defense. Couldn't take it all the way, though, but gets inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Got a flag on the far side.
We do. Here back at about, looks like the 48, and legal man downfield, maybe?
I didn't see the signal. All I saw was an arm pointing towards the Boomers, so we'll get another signal here again in a minute. But
it's a good-looking fake.
Yep, illegal man downfield. So that's going to be from the not from the spot of the foul, but from the line of scrimmage, a 5-yard penalty, and I believe that's a loss of down.
We'll see for sure on that. Either way, a big play for the Boomers. A race there, unfortunately, on the penalty looking at it downfield. It was kind of a RPO look there, and so somebody just got a little antsy, maybe getting upfield a bit.
Down marker just now being moved. They've still got it on 1st down.
That's what we're seeing. So we'll call it 1st down here long for the Boomers. Pope gets a snap. He's going to throw it out here to the right side. It's Cash Shipley making the catch. Be able to make the catch and get back up to the 45-yard line there and get really close to that original line of scrimmage, which was the Boomer 46, and that will set up about a 2nd and 10 here.
Yeah, a gain of just about 5, got just about the penalty yardage back.
They did mark it. It's like the 45.5. It's kind of an odd one. The nose maybe touching that 46 there. Minute 30 left to go in this half. Boomers lead 42-0 here in Oklahoma City against Western Heights. Poe back in the gun. Takes the snap, hands off to Emery. Emery's got a lot of space over there on the left side, though. Has a bounce off tackler, too. Still fighting. Gets to the sideline. Gets across the 50 up to the 45-yard line into Western Heights territory. Not quite the first down, but just a yard too short. And Denzel Emery making some moves in the open field.
Right. Circling the field, getting to the outside, make that corner. Picked up 7 yards.
Marking him back at the 46 in Western Heights territory. So about 3rd and 2 here, under a minute to go. I can't imagine Coach Lewis is going to rush this too much. I mean, you don't have to take a shot here, just get some plays up. 3rd and short for the Boomers, though. Poe back in the gun. He'll take snap. He's going to roll out over there to his right side. He's going to look. He's going to fire in the middle. He's got Cash Shipley again there at the 35. He's going to run far side 30. Gets, popped right there, right at the 26-yard line and knocked down. But, hey, that's a big first down there for the Boomers, and Cash Shipley comes up with another big catch.
19-yard catch and run for Shipley, and you're right. He got a pretty good shot there, but he popped right up off the ground. And, tough kid, first down for the Boomers.
Hey, when you're young and out there, right, that adrenaline, if you will.
Hey, I'll tell you what, you're a freshman playing playing on a Friday night under the lights. You don't feel those.
Yeah. 1st and 10 here. Pope's going to drop back to pass. He's going to fire one to the end zone. He's got Taylor Laird over the top, and it is complete for the touchdown there. And another strike this time for help.
Playing on a Friday night under the lights. You don't feel those.
Yeah. 1st and 10 here. Pope's going to drop back to pass. He's going to fire one to the end zone. He's got Taylor Laird over the top, and it is complete for the touchdown there. So under about 9 seconds left to go here in the first half. The Boomers trying to make this a 49-0 ball game. And they have been in complete control here in the half. Pinkert is on for this extra point. Snap bit low, but it's corralled. Ball down. Kick is up. And kick is good for Mr. Pinkert. And that will make it 49-0 in favor of the Boomers as they lead over Western Heights. Western Heights, it's their homecoming here. They had their festivities before the game, like most schools have been doing. So they brought out a decent crowd. But, man, I mean, yet again, Ron, another drive where you just complete it with a nice play over the top. And Pope to Laird has been a successful connection tonight so far.
Yeah, it really has. And, they there's really not a lot to say. You've just outclassed your opponent with talent, with size, with speed, with physicality, the whole bit. And you're leading here by 49 at halftime. And like you said, I would anticipate maybe seeing the varsity for one series in the second half,
right,
and then turn it over to the young guys.
Yeah, definitely a good time to get those young guys some snaps.
One thing about it, though, this Jets team hasn't quit.
No,
they're still playing hard. Chitwood's still running hard, and those guys are still, they're still popping hard off the line of scrimmage, firing off, trying to do their job and trying to get better.
Well, that's what you got to do, right? When you're in a situation like this, there's no quit. I mean, it's about those reps. We talked about in the pregame. You lose a year of reps, it's going to take a while to kind of look right, if you will. So it's part of the process for sure. Pinkert on to kick here. Just under 10 seconds to go in this first half. He's got the whistle, got the hand in the air. He's checked his guys here. Now taking his jog. Puts the boot into it. Bit of a sidewinder a bit. This one back to Worley. Worley's going to field about the 10-yard line. Almost bounce off of him, though. He's going to cut it out to the right side there. Gets across the 20. Gets up to the 25. Still, ball's on the ground. He was fighting forward. And there's a scrum for it right there, right before the 30. We'll see who comes up with it.
The Boomers got it.
They've got it.
That's the end of the half.
And that is the end of the half. As you mentioned, zeros on the board. And the Boomers here at halftime going to go into the locker room up 49-0 over Western Heights. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
Bentech Hometown Insurance is an independent insurance agency located at 1807 Oklahoma Avenue in Woodward and is a proud supporter of your Woodward Boomers.
punt return. They scored on a kickoff return, pass, run. They're just really kind of doing whatever they want to do right now, which is kind of what we were expecting. As we came into this thing, knowing the situation that Western Heights is in, and the Boomers have been playing well against 3 top 10 teams early. So, yeah, it's one of those things where you just got to come out and you take care of business.
Well, and we talked about it too. No credit to Western Heights for toughing out, doing what they've got to do. We talked pregame about the staff, Coach McCarty, and his experience, and kind of trying to get this thing going again for Western Heights. You got some of those senior leaders, Chris Worley at quarterback, and then Cameron Chitwood as well. Showing the younger guys, hey, no matter the situation, you got to come out, you got to play hard, because that's how you get better, right? I mean, it's how you get those reps and you fight through some of those tough nights.
Yeah, absolutely, and it is. They need a game like this right now, moving into a big game next week with McGinnis, and it's just one of those games where don't get anybody hurt, get better at what it is you do, concentrate on yourself, and play well, basically.
And Ron, with that, I believe you're getting some scores here, some updates. Of course, we'll take a look and see what's going on in 5A2, maybe across Class B, some 8-man as well. And I do want to shout out while we can, Trent Caldwell right now, they've got a good one brewing over there in Ashland, Kansas, over on 104.5 KZZW as the game of the week there, the Friday Night Quick Scores game of the week. Ashland, Moscow. Ashland coming off beating the defending state champs up there in 6-man, and a tough opponent here with Ashland or with Moscow as well. That one should be maybe close to halftime, and just about kind of where we are as well. And of course, you can catch up on all the scores over on K101. They are rolling through Friday Night Quick Scores right now. CJ Montgomery, Sean Kelly, Chris Eubank, and as well as a plethora of guests and previews and interviews going on over there on K101 across all 3 of the Omni Media Group stations. Getting you covered here on a football Friday night. And what do we got, maybe, Ron, on some of those scores?
Well, you look at 5A2, and we thought we'd find out something about, some of the other teams in our district. You had 3 ranked teams playing against 3 unranked teams coming in. And, Guyman had to make the long drive down to Carl Albert right before halftime. Carl Albert's leading that one 21-0. And then Guthrie just kind of drove across town and through town, and, well, they didn't even go through town. They went around town, went to Piedmont. Piedmont, first game of the year for Piedmont because they missed out on an El Reno game. They missed out on a Noble game. And, but
right, yeah.
Guthrie, ranked number 4 in the state, is leading that one 21-7. And then McGinnis, ranked number 7 in Class 4A, kind of a very improved Lawton Ike team. They had to travel up here to McGinnis, and McGinnis is leading that one 28-7. So the ranked teams are doing what they were expected to do here tonight. Maybe not near halftime, maybe not as big as what we thought some of them would be. But
talking about Carl Albert there a little bit.
Yeah, Carl Albert a little bit. But they're taking care of business. They're getting things done, kind of like what we expected throughout 5A2. And then, of course, the Boomers here leading 49-0.
Well, and what do you make of that Guthrie-Piedmont game? We know Guthrie, of course, the only undefeated 5A2 team right now. Piedmont, as you mentioned, I mean, we talked with Coach Luchin about missing reps. Piedmont, you essentially get 2 weeks vacated of missing live game reps against good opponents, and I would say that 21-7 showing not bad right there considering those circumstances.
Yeah, it's really not. And Piedmont has had some athletes here in the past few years, and they've really stepped their program up a little bit. It wasn't too long ago when Piedmont was a 2A school, and when they were a they were a 2A school. They've grown exponentially over the past 6, 7, 8 years. Now at 5A and bumping, a 6A enrollment as those come along. But they're getting better players. They're playing better. They're doing pretty well. And 2 years ago they had the two kids that went on to play D2 football.
Yeah.
And so Guthrie's taking care of business there. I talked to the Guthrie principal and superintendent, assistant principal here a couple of weeks ago, and Chris Legarin, the principal. He's not one to really
he's
extol.
humble,
yeah, he's not really one to extol things out on his team, and he said, we're pretty good. So that lends to tell me that they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't say that a whole lot. But, yeah, they're ranked number 4 in Class 5A, 3-0, and leading Piedmont by 2 touchdowns near halftime.
And are we kind of ready for some of those
I've got a
scores?
few area scores here, a few that I haven't been able to find, that I haven't been able to pick up yet. But Fairview and Sayre in Class A. What were you telling me about that earlier?
That one was actually a last-minute cancellation.
Okay. Well, they've got him 0-0 on here, so that would explain why.
And that one's actually going to get played tomorrow, Saturday day. The reason for that, folks, not a COVID issue, oddly enough. Kind of, not to sound the alarm too hard, but Sayre couldn't find the refs to get that one played tonight on a Friday night. It's an issue that's kind of been plaguing not only Oklahoma but the Tri-State, if you will. The ref today is kind of upon us, and you're starting to see some of those effects. So that game moved to tomorrow. Fairview and Sayre will play tomorrow.
Yeah, it has. They'll play tomorrow. Moreland, Thomas traveled to Moreland tonight. Moreland playing pretty well this year. They're leading 22-7 right before halftime. Laverne Tigers played last night at Pioneer.
Yeah. 2
really good Class B teams. Of course, Laverne, depending on what you look at, ranked 1, 2, or 3. In Class B, but they came away against an undefeated Pioneer team and won 36-14. Balco Forgan, ranked number 5 in Class C on the Panhandle. They're taking on Hollis, and they are up right before halftime, 40-14. Tyrone, ranked number 3 in Class C. They're leading Boise City 13-6. That's a rivalry. The 2 schools not that far apart out there. Winoka leads Beaver 40-0. Shattuck over Waurika 30-0. And one that kind of surprises me a little bit here is Sharon Mutual is up on Buffalo 32-14 right at halftime.
Boy, that was a kind of a one to watch as district play gets underway in Class C, because those 2 squads were on, and we've Trent Caldwell and myself, and we talked about in 5th quarter. Those 2 squads were placing a lot, needing a win kind of start off district play, and maybe the winner of that one kind of takes control of their fate, fighting for, maybe that last playoff spot. So, yeah, that is a big one. Sharon Mutual coming off a tough loss against O'Keene. They needed that win in Buffalo, though. Boy, they needed it, too. That's a tight game.
Yeah, and Canton is leading Ringwood right now 12-8, and then found one other score, sending Wildcats up on Cherokee 38-14. Boy, Cherokee's had a rough time of it.
Yeah, trying to get healthy.
Trying to get healthy and get players back on the field, and they're a pretty good club up there for Coach Bryce Schonbacher, but they're fighting some injuries, some big time injuries.
And with that, we'll go ahead and take a break here in the Dairy Queen halftime show. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
Craving classic patty, where there's one place that can satisfy your hunger with 100% beef for a price you can't beat. Get your DQ fix today. The corner of 13th and Main, the home of Woodward's very own Dairy Queen, with drive-through, curbside delivery, or call-in orders available. Appreciate you. Is get your DQ fix today. Check out the Facebook page for updated specials and call 580-256-2397 to place an order. Open Monday through Thursday from 10 to 9 and 10 to 10 on Friday and Saturday. Call 580-256-2397 to get your DQ fix today.
Stairway to heaven.
At Michelin, we know the right tire changes everything, particularly when it comes to fuel efficiency. For decades, Michelin has engineered tires that roll more efficiently to reduce fuel consumption and carbon emissions too. Come meet our tire experts and find out how the right Michelin tire can make a difference on your vehicle. Whether you drive a passenger car or an SUV, Michelin tires truly can change everything. Michelin, a better way forward. Available at High Plains Tire, 2220 Main Street in Woodward.
Roxanne Watson is on a mission.
Hello, how are you doing today?
She wants more people to register as organ, eye, and tissue donors.
Are you an organ donor?
Yes, I am.
My goal is to sign up most people in the United States.
Drives her, Roxanne's own life was saved through the gift of a heart transplant, made possible by an organ donor.
I decided that day that I was going to vote myself to the cause of organ donation and signing people up and honoring my donor by doing that.
Now she's back to health, and she's a powerful force, helping to save lives every day through her work. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life.
8 people can be helped with the major organs, and up to 50 people can be helped with a little bit of everything. And when you think about it that way, that you could help that many people, it's amazing, it really is.
Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
And back here live on Z92 with Boomer Football's Dairy Queen halftime show. Ron Southern and Tyler Riggs with you. And Ron, before the break, we kind of took a good look across 5A2, across the area scores as well. Let's talk a little college ball here on the other side of this. Oklahoma State has a big one tomorrow in Stillwater against Kansas State. 6 o'clock kickoff. Pre-game's going to start here on Z92 at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Kansas State, despite not having Skylar Thompson, their star quarterback, comes in undefeated, number 25 in a lot of the AP polls. Oklahoma State just kind of on the edge of it, if you will. Pivotal matchup here early on in the Big 12.
It really is. Kansas State got that win last week to bump themselves up into the top 25 at number 25. Oklahoma State with a tough win out at Boise State. Boise plays, what are they, like 37-10 at home over the last 6 years or something like that?
I mean, it's part of having, at least right now, the all-time best winning percentage is D1 program. That's how you got to do it, yeah.
And, tough win for them, but they were able to pull through. And, the week before, they lost their running game and everything was a pass. And this past week, they lost their passing game and everything was a run. So
talk about trying to be healthy.
Right, and they did. They left some receivers at home, and they're expecting to get most of those guys back tomorrow. Should be a great game tomorrow night against Kansas State. It'll be a 4-quarter game, without a doubt. I mean, they're going to be battling all the way through, and 2 undefeated teams opening up conference play. It should be a great game up in Stillwater.
And we'll let everybody know, too, despite Kansas State being the ranked team in this situation, they are the underdog, according to a lot of lines out there, if you will.
Right.
30 minutes a bit after that kickoff, you'll get in Norman, OU hosts West Virginia. That one's interesting. West Virginia
really
coming off
is.
A big upset over VTech last week.
Big upset. Their defense is playing really well. And, the Sooners, it's OU Nebraska, but it's a game that I thought that they would be, 3 touchdown winners, and they ended up winning by 7. And, OU and OSU right now, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a question mark, right?
Against some of the competition that they've had, you think that they should have put up some bigger wins, but it's hard to tell. We'll find out. We'll find a lot about both teams tomorrow, because West Virginia's got that good defense, and then Oklahoma State and Kansas State are 2 pretty well matched, balanced clubs. So we'll see.
And of course, as mentioned, you catch that Oklahoma State game live here on Z92. Pre-game at 4 o'clock, kickoff at 6. You can find the Oklahoma game over there in Norman, live on K101. It'll be pre-game at 4:30, kickoff at 6:30 there. And with that, we'll take our final time out here. The Dairy Queen halftime. We'll come back and get you set up for the second half as the Boomers lead here in Oklahoma City over Western Heights, 49-0. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
With the BF Goodrich Advantage TA Sport Tires, you'll get performance-inspired handling to put some life back into your daily drive. And with a 110,000-kilometer warranty, you'll do it for a long time. You may just wake up and say, I do want to adult today. Thrill your drive at High Plains Tire, 2220 Main Street. 110,000-kilometer limited track warranty applies to team-rated tires only. See BFGoodrichTires.ca for details.
Gordon's Home Furnishings is now receiving some of our long overdue shipment of furniture.
What?
We are filling vacant spaces on the floor with new sofas, love seats, sectionals, motion furniture, and much more.
What?
Gordon's Home Furnishings also has some new dining sets and new bedroom sets. We'll receive new lamps, pictures, and accessories. Everything is being tagged with our everyday low price, which includes free delivery within our tri-state delivery area. That's only at Gordon's Home Furnishings at First, Oklahoma, in Woodward, Oklahoma.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see. Depression won't show up on an eye chart, and you can't measure it on your bathroom scale. Sorting out a mental health concern is not something to attempt on your own. You won't find a bipolar disorder by looking at a thermometer. Like many other health conditions, help for mental illness take professional diagnosis and treatment. Anxiety won't just go away under a stick-around bandage. So the sooner you seek treatment, the better. If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. Find out what to do. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support. That's samhsa.gov/support.
And welcome back here to Boomer Football. Second half getting ready to get underway as both teams have gone through their kind of out of the locker room warm-ups, free warm-ups, if you will, re-stretching it out. And getting lined up on the sideline. Ron Sutherland and Tyler Riggs with you as we're live here on Z92 and Boomer TV. And Ron, we talked about a bit at halftime. Really, in the second half, you're looking for probably, you got to finish stronger for the Boomers, whether it's the varsity or the JV in there. Got to make sure you're getting the mental reps right.
Right. Don't let down. Just continue to play. Keep your head in the game. And then when those, when those young guys come in, you got to stand over there on the sideline and support them and help them out. And, maybe coach them up a little bit if you get a chance.
Oh, yeah. And we've seen this Boomer team, no stranger to that. Obviously, a good brotherly culture, it seems like, kind of all around, especially with those senior and junior leaders out there. Well, Daniel Pinkard going to be on the kick here for the Boomers, as Western Heights had won the toss and deferred, so they will receive in the second half. And making sure here we're lined up. Ref jogging out, getting into position.
Well,
yeah, he's holding it up here a bit. Not sure what the holdup is here quite yet.
Well, everybody's in position. The officials are all in position.
Maybe not quite. Let's see here.
Oh, they got to move.
I see one jogging.
Yep, you got to move the linesman to the other end of the field. He was lined up wrong.
Everybody's learning out here wrong. Okay, with that, I think we should be getting set up now here to start the second half.
I think we have an inexperienced chain crew also.
I mean, hey, that's what we were talking about halftime. Help out your local communities, folks. Need the rest, need the help. Kick is up by Mr. Pinkard here, end over under, well into that end zone and out the back. That's going to be a touchback. And Western Heights going to start with the ball at their own 20-yard line to start out the second half.
Western Heights has started at their own 20, their own 20, their own 20, their own 47, their own 25, their own 33, and now their own 20. So they've been into the Boomers into the field a couple of times, once by virtue of penalties, and the other time they got a decent pass down into Boomer territory.
See what they can come up with here on this drive. It's going to be Worley back out there at quarterback, and the pistol here, Chitwood behind him, split receivers. Snap to Worley. He's going to look left side, fire underneath. He's got Melendez for a short game. Melendez catches it, and he gets tracked. Oh, no, loses the ball out the back end there as he was getting drugged down, and it looks like.
Well, he had a 4-yard gain on the play. He fumbled the ball, and it went out of bounds back at the 10-yard line.
Wow.
So a 4-yard gain and a 14-yard loss.
Oh.
And that's going to be a net 10-yard loss on the play. It was a completion for positive yardage, but the fumble went out of the end zone.
And he had a couple Boomers on him immediately as he caught it on the underneath route. He's kind of burned him on a little bit earlier. And, just gets the fumble. And as you mentioned, it's going to be marked out of bounds at the 10, so it's going to set up Western Heights for a 2nd and 20 now after that fumble loss. Snap low to Worley. He corrals it, though. He'll turn the handoff here to Chitwood. Chitwood's going to be able to find a little bit of room, get up to about the 13-yard line and find a few yards and set up a 3rd and long for the Jets.
Well, you mentioned Chitwood, and it's really hard for me not to hear, "I'll make it, Coach," when you mention Chitwood. Of course, that's Jimmy and not Cameron.
Right. Oh, boy, that's where we're at in the second half here. Gotta get the references in for sure. He plays hard, though.
Who's
he lives
yours?
up to the Chitwood name, if you will. 3rd log here for the Jets. 3rd and 16 at their own 13-yard line, excuse me. Worley back at the pistol. Takes the snap. He's going to drop back to pass. He's looking to the left side. He's going to float one up there. Maybe has a man. No, it's going to be picked off here by the Boomers. It's Lucas Shirky running down the sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, and he's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. But we got a flag back here at about the 25-yard line.
And he kind of pulled it out of his pocket and just dropped it behind him right there. I don't know. 35-yard touchdown return for Shirky, but we'll see what normally in that position, it's a block in the back. something.
Got a flag back here at about the 25-yard line.
And he kind of pulled it out of his pocket and just dropped it behind him right there. I don't know.
Here on the Boomers on the return, so wipe away the second pick six of the night for the Boomers. Instead, though, they will have possession. Believe spot of the foul might be lining up here closer towards the 50 by the time they mark this off, depending on how they spot it initially. Yet again, though, Lucas Shirkey on that coverage, and Ron, talk about progression. We have seen that young man really come along very well in the first few weeks of the season. I mean, it's complete almost 180 if you look at the Clinton game up to the last week against Weatherford and, of course, into tonight.
Well, it's a learning process for Mr. Shirkey, and he's learned well. He's playing well and been a vital part of this Boomer defense all year.
They do actually get the ball for the Boomers here at the Western Heights 35, so the penalty not as far back as we thought here. So that 1st and 10 for the Boomers at the plus territory. Pope takes snap, turns the wrong way, looking to hand off to Emery. Emery, I'm not sure who had the bad read there, but Pope's going to be tackled for a loss in the backfield on the broken play and set up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what happened there. One of them went the wrong direction, and Pope, again, didn't try to force anything, just tucked the ball under and tried to get what he could get, and he got a -3, but that's really about the only negative play that the Boomers have had.
I think it absolutely is the first of the night where you can say that was a bad result. This is going to be 2nd, and it looks like about 13 here for the Boomers, as you were talking about, from the 38-yard line. Snap to Pope. This time he takes the read. He's going to take himself, has a big hole on the right side, breaks the tackle, gets to the 20, 15, 10. He's got the edge, and he's in for the touchdown there. And Wyatt Pope on the keeper bust a big one from 38 yards out.
Yeah, fake that ball to Emery on I mean, it's a zone read look, but it's a called run for Pope. Fake the handoff to Emery, cut it right up the middle, huge hole up the middle. Then he broke to the outside, sprinted down the sidelines, 38-yard touchdown for Wyatt Pope.
Ron, I think you could have got at least 20 if we put you out there, Joe.
Maybe. Maybe.
Depends on how the hammies feel.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, Boomers now take the lead here, going for 56-0 over the Jets. 8:28 left to go in this third quarter. They do have a running clock going, by the way, for the second half. Snap is down, ball is down here, and the kick is up and good for Mr. Daniel Pinkard as another made extra point for him. And the Boomers take the lead 56-0 here, approaching about 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. This is Boomer football on Z92.
High Plains Tire wants you to feel more secure about your next tire purchase. Starting September 1st, every Michelin brand passenger or light truck tire will come with the Michelin Promise Plan. That means you get a 30-day satisfaction guarantee and 3 years of flat tire changing assistance, along with a limited mileage warranty. Have peace of mind with your next set of Michelin tires. Come in and see us at High Plains Tire in Woodward to take advantage of this promising offer. Certain conditions and limitations apply. Ask our counter salesperson for details or visit michelinbrand.ca.
And welcome back here to Z92 Oklahoma City. We're live as the Boomers taking on the Western Heights Jets, and the Boomers well in control of this one, 56-0 over the Jets here. In the second half, running clock is in effect, so we're approaching about 7 minutes to go in this third quarter, and Daniel Pinkard on for yet another kickoff here. And Ron, I mean, the varsity, those hog mollies up front on both sides have just been in thorough control.
2 plays, 35 yards, had a loss of 3, so it was a 38-yard touchdown for Pope. Boomers up now 56-0, and I would suspect that we'll probably start seeing some younger guys in the game after this.
A lot of opportunities for some freshmen that, it's really been a good squad. That you mentioned that middle school squad from last year, now freshmen. A lot of buzz around them coming into the season. We've already seen some contributors, but it'll be interesting to get some further looks. Kick up here by Pinkard over there to the far sideline. Caught, it looks like, and returning now by Chitwood. And he's going to come across field, reverse all around to the 30, 35, up to almost the 40. Excuse me, that was not Chitwood, actually. That was Jamal Gardenhire, the freshman, with a nice return in around there, but there's a flag back at the 30.
Flag at the 30. Again, that's in that portion where you get block in the back, maybe a hold, especially with the way he reversed his field and came all the way across, and there is a block in the back. So rather than having the ball at the 39-yard line, they're going to back it up to probably about the 25, I believe. That's a spot foul.
Should be, and yeah, that's always a killer on those kick returns. You get a good kick return, but when it comes back a bit, tough. And it looks like they're going to mark it at the 21-yard line here. So that's where Western Heights will begin the drive at their
As you
21.
mentioned, a running clock here in the second half, which is agreeable by both coaches, and no sense in prolonging the agony.
No,
I didn't want to say agony, but yeah.
Right, you still get your reps, though, for both squads, of course, in that second half. Just some love to ones and plenty of twos out there for the Boomers right now. Worley, though, takes the snap for the Jets, hands off to Chitwood. Chitwood finds a little bit of a hole, gets up to about the 24-yard line, gets 3 on that one before he is brought down.
Number 17, Zathan Klingenpeel on the tackle.
Freshman who's starting in place of Paul Sullivan tonight, still out there, of course. I mean, why not? Freshman might as well get the full game.
We're going to try to get as many of these names for you as we can. I see Cooper Lataw, a freshman in there.
Yep.
At a corner, Cash Shipley at a safety. Looking over here on the near side, it looks like we have Casey Boren in there at one defensive tackle, and we'll get these for you as we go.
Second and about 7 here for the Jets now. Worley takes snap. He'll hand off to Chitwood again. Got a bit of a hole. Gets across up to the 30-yard line. Gets a good pop right there. Not sure who that was. It looks like Denzel Emery, actually, who's still out there now playing defense. Gets the tackle to set up a third short here for the Jets.
Well, these gold numbers are really hard to see.
Especially with the light. Looks like Zane Weibel is also out there as well.
Out there. A lot of freshmen. A lot of freshmen on the field right now.
That
Lataw's a freshman. Shipley's a freshman.
Third short here for the Jets. Under 4 minutes to go in this third quarter. Hard count by Worley. He'll get the snap. Hand off to Chitwood. Chitwood's got a big hole. Gets across the 40 to the 45. Gets almost up to the 50-yard line. Finally gets struck down by Klingenpeel right there at the 50-yard line as a first down for the Jets. And a big run from Cameron Chitwood.
Yeah, Cameron Chitwood, 19-yard run right out to midfield. Boomers, we're still trying to.
I see Derek Smith, the junior, out there on the D line for the Boomers, number 76. As mentioned, you got Weibel and Boren at the linebacker spots.
And we have a timeout.
And we'll have timeout. We'll take it real quick with them here as we got the running clock in the third quarter. This is Boomer Football on Z92. I guess we'll keep it right here actually on that timeout, but I think we just about close got to those names all on that defensive side. A lot of youngins out there, as you mentioned, Ron. It's good to see. I mean, you want to get the reps, want them to get those snaps and make sure they're getting some live game action. I mean, hey, the way Jimmy Chitwood, I see you got me now.
There you go.
You got me.
Gotcha.
You got me. But Cameron Chitwood is running. It's definitely a good look.
Yeah, it is. And those young players for the Boomers are going to get some action, and they call that timeout to try to fix an alignment, which you got to continue to coach these guys. You can't tell kids not to play.
Right.
And they get out there even though they're up, by 8 scores. These young guys have got to get out there and play. They got to do their job. They got to learn. They've got, you got to keep coaching them up because this is your future right here.
Also see Carson Hunter, I believe, on that defensive line as well, 51 there for the Boomers. Worley's back in the gun here on 1st and 10. They're going to hand off to Chitwood at the 50. He's going to get across the 50.
Fumble.
Ball's on the ground. Fumble. The Boomers fight for it.
They're going to say he was down.
They're going to say he was down. It was close right there. He only got about a yard. Good tackle by the Boomer D line, and ball came out. But they, as you mentioned, said he was down.
Looked like Carson Hunter was in on the tackle right there along with Smith.
Also seeing Peyton Carter out there on the defensive line as well, the sophomore. I think with that, we just about got the entire defense. So pretty close.
We'll try to get these guys' names on the air.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's always a special moment for the parents, right?
Absolutely.
Hear your kid's name on the air for the first time. Worley back in the gun here. Looking back to pass now on 2nd and 10. He's going to toss one up. Got a man. No, it's picked off by Littell. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 20 right there. Good coverage, though, and an interception again for the Boomers. Young freshman coming up with a big play.
Right. Cooper that time got the ball over his shoulder, kind of made a Willie Mays type catch on the interception. The pass was long. Cooper running with the receiver, and then Lataw was able to just take the ball over his shoulder and get his first interception as a Boomer, and that'll set up the Boomers at their own 20-yard line.
And the Boomers take over offensively on that 20, their own 20. 2:54 left to go here in the third quarter now. Boomers lead 56-0. We got some fireworks going off in the distance here too, Ron, back here. I'm not sure what's being celebrated. Saw a couple pop up and then they disappeared. But getting everything here tonight in Oklahoma City. All right, Boomers sit up. We'll see who's in here as the see Lataw out there as well at receiver. Imagine, and that should be Ryan Douglas, the freshman quarterback, in here.
Douglas is in at quarterback.
Takes a snap, he'll hand off up the gut now. Fighting up to about the 25-yard line. And finally dragged down with some forward progress right there. And that is going to be Klingenpeel getting the carry on that one.
Nathan Klingenpeel.
He's all over the field tonight.
Getting his first carry. Starts on defense, now he's getting a carry on offense. Looks like Ryan Douglas is out there.
Big boys are going to be the tough ones.
Start bringing my binoculars.
You know, we talk about, Toby and Dave Hunziker, as good as they are, they do have a whole staff of spotters to work with.
Yes, they do.
Second about 5 here for the Boomers after the Klingenpeel 5-yard run on first down. Douglas is going to be the gun, split receivers. Oh, and you got a Western Heights player jumping offside right there. It should be 5 yards for the Boomers and probably a first down. Looks like that was Donald Williams that jumped offside for the Jets there, the young sophomore.
It's going to be just about half a yard short of a first down.
So setting up a 2nd and inches here for the Boomers now. Douglas in the gun. Got motion across the front of the formation. Snap taken, handoff inside of Klingenpeel. He's got the first down and more. Gets flipped over, though, just short of the 40-yard line there to 30. May have fought forward, but I think they're going to mark him on the 39-yard, or excuse me, yes,
the
34-yard line. Yes.
Good run by Klingenpeel, and you're right. He got a low tackle in there, got head over heels. His feet ended up where his helmet should be.
It popped right up, though. Young man taking the punishment, if you will. So 1st and 10 for the Boomers here. Ball on their own 34-yard line. About a minute to go left in this third quarter. Boomers lead 56-0. Douglas back in the gun. Man in motion. Snap to Douglas. He's going to roll out a little bit. Now reverses course to the right side. Still looking. It's going to wind up tucked in and running. Gets across the 35. Gets back up, to about the 37 right there. So scrambles for a couple yards.
Mix up in the backfield. He wanted to hand the ball off to Klingenpeel, and Klingenpeel peeled out like he was going on a bubble route, and Douglas just had to take the ball and get what he could get. Ran around the far side, got 3 yards, but just a little mix-up. They'll fix that.
Seeing Mason Boring out there as well, the young freshman at one of the receiver slots with Lataw. Trying to see who that is on the far side for you folks. Meanwhile, though, Douglas going to line up in that pistol here on about a 2nd and 7. 5 seconds to go. We'll see if they snap it before the end of the quarter. Bourne goes in motion, and we're going to get a delay of game. Looks like the play clock was just a little bit ahead of the game clock. So that's going to back him up 5 yards and set up a 2nd and 12. And we'll see if this is now going to be another down before the end of the third quarter here or not.
It's over. Third quarter end.
And yes, it is. So as the end of the third quarter, Boomers still lead this one 56-0. We'll come back and have the fourth quarter for you. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
Not every road is worthy of a postcard, but with the Michelin Cross Climate 2 and 100,000...
Sorry about that, man.
Oh, hey.
We're ready to enjoy every trip while keeping your family safe. The Michelin Cross Climate 2 tire is safer for longer than leading competitors.
Yeah, 1 second, let me double check.
The Michelin Cross Climate 2. Safe for first wet braking when tires are new and
Yeah, 2.
It's an inch. All tires eventually wear out and should be replaced. For details, visit your dealer or Michelin.ca.
Bentech Hometown Insurance is an independent insurance agency located at 1807 Oklahoma Avenue in Woodward and is a proud supporter of your local boomers. Bentech Hometown Insurance represents all major carriers and will shop those carriers to find the best coverage possible. Whether it is auto, home, life, health, or commercial insurance, Bentech Hometown Insurance will give you the power of options for all your insurance needs. Stop by 1807 Oklahoma Avenue and see Clint White or visit online at bentechinsurance.com. Medicare open enrollment begins October 15th through December 7th, and individual health open enrollment begins November 1st through December 15th.
And welcome back here to Blue Football on 292. Rob Southern and Tyler in the fourth quarter. Nothing here. Got a first and back 12. Snaps Douglas. He's going to pitch outside the plate on the left side. He's got a bit of a hole. Cuts it back up. Gets up to about the 35-yard line right there and finds a few yards on that first down run. They marked it first and 12, Ron. I thought we were 2nd and 7, but they're showing 1st and 12 on the sticks. Now going to be set up 2nd and about 8.
2nd and about 8. We had that offside or delay penalty,
right?
That set us back 5 and made it 1st and 12.
I thought it was going to be 2nd and 12, but I'm not sure what happened there in that mix-up. Either way, though, decent little gain there for the Boomers. Douglas going to be back in the gun yet again here, flanked by Klingenbill. Split receivers.
Offside.
And Boring comes in motion. You hear it there, the whistle and a flag. Going to be some offsides there. And that's going to move the Boomers forward. It was offsides on the Jets there, so they're going to pick up 5 here on the penalty. Set up a 2nd and about 4, maybe a long 5. In motion goes Boring again. Douglas back in the gun, gets the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to roll out there to the right side. He's going to fire. He's got a man. It's Boring. Boring be able to make the catch and get right to the sticks there at about the 44-yard line before he's dragged down. And I think they might give him the first, or it's going to be 3rd and inches.
Looks like.
And they'll give him the first.
Yeah.
Nice little roll out there and a good completion. That's kind of a bread and butter staple, if you will, with this Boomer offense.
Well, you can extend the play with a little bit of rollout. You can get away from those linemen, get a little bit better look downfield.
Douglas back in the gun yet again. Boring goes in motion. Snap to him, handoff inside to Klingenbill. He's going to try to follow some blockers, but he's not going very far. It does get across the 45 to the 46 right there. A couple yards in on first down to set up a 2nd and 8. Some of those linemen for the Boomers here. Looks like you got Derek Smith in there still. I see freshman Jaden Koch at center. 64 there. Trying to identify a couple more there. So it looks like a bit of a mix. You expect obviously mostly freshmen and maybe a couple 2s and 3s that are sophomores and juniors. Douglas in the gun again here on 2nd and 8. Takes the snap. Handoff inside of Klingenbill. He makes a bit of a move. Finds a bit of a hole. Gets up to about the 50-yard line. Finally gets dragged down right at that 50-yard line. Nice little patient run right there for Zathan Klingenbill.
It was. He stayed back, a little hesitation, let his blockers develop in front of him, and then cut off the block pretty well. Picked up 6 yards.
Under 10 minutes to go in this one. Boomers leading 56-0. They've been in total control here in Western Heights. Now you got those youngins in there getting those reps. Boomers trying to drive here. Got about a 3rd and 4 from the 50. Douglas going to be back in the gun. Trips over there to the left side, single to the right. Man in motion from the left. Snap to him, the handoff inside of Klingenbill. He runs into his own blocker and falls forward there, only for about a yard. Thought he saw a hole, looks like, and then it quickly got closed up.
Right, and it closed up quickly, ran into the back of his own blocker. Sometimes when those linemen, young linemen in particular, they miss a block and they want to turn around and see what happened.
Right.
But I guarantee you, you turn around in the hole, you're going to make the tackle, and that's what happened there.
That's always the worst spot to be as a former lineman. Boy, you don't want to be that guy because it gets made fun of on film later. But set up a short 4th and 3 here for the Boomers. They are going to go for it right at midfield. Douglas takes a snap. They hand off to Klingenbill. He's fighting for it. Got a bit of a hole. Gets right up close to the stick.
Close.
He might have it. Gets up to the Jet 46-yard line. Let's see where they spot this.
That second effort spin might have got him the first down. Again, it's a right foot, left foot spot. And they're looking across, and no, they held. They say that Western Heights defense held. That's probably a 56-0 decision right there.
Probably.
To put Western Heights back on offense.
And they marked it, looked like about just a couple inches short, Ron. The stick was right at the 46. They marked it about the 47 and maybe a quarter there. And so with that, Western Heights taking over here. 7:50 left to go now in the ball game. They'll get the ball right at, it's starting at about the 46 in their own territory here. So we got, of course, most of the ones out there for Western Heights because they just don't have the depth to really substitute out anybody. So this will be Worley back in the pistol here. Chitwood behind him. Split receivers. Worley takes snap. They're going to hand off to Chitwood. He's got a little bit of a hole, breaks a couple tackles, bounces out to the left side, gets to the 50, stiff arm, gets another man off him, finally gets struck down over there at the 46-yard line into Boomer territory. Another tough run.
Another good run by Chitwood. 7-yard gain, and again, it's just a good, tough run.
And that's, that's probably Coach Lucian's liking to see that because you want that live rep for these young guys.
Right, exactly.
A guy that's playing hard. So
you never know, when a guy's going to have to step in and do a job, just like Cass Shipley, the freshman.
Yeah.
Not expecting Sam Cheap to go down, and Cash has to step in. And
Worley back at the pistol here, handoff on this second and short. Chitwood has a whole left side, gets across to the 40, finally gets struck out of bounds inside the 40 to about the 37. Bounced that one, looked like it was going to go inside, bounced out to the left side for a first down.
Another 7-yard run for Chitwood. They're down inside Boomer territory, inside the 40.
Got marked at the 38 here.
If Western Heights gets in the end zone, this place is liable to erupt.
It would be their first points of the season. They've been shut out in 3 consecutive games. Star Spencer, U.S. Grant, and the third opponent's blanking my mind there, so I apologize. But, hadn't been pretty so far here. Under 6 minutes to go in this one. Boomers lead 56-0. Jets drive. Chitwood going to get another handoff here on first down. He's going nowhere. Play made in the backfield, and that was a great job by the Boomer defense. It looks like it was Carson Hunter initially got in for that D-line.
He did, and he'll probably get a solo tackle on that, although some guys helped him finish it off. Hunter right through there, beat his man easily, and met Chitwood in the backfield, a loss of 4. It's got to feel good for the youngster.
Oh, it does. You get that first big tackle for loss out there. Oh, man. I mean, it just shows that progression that Derek Lucian's got this D-line on. I mean, obviously bringing that college experience, that teaching. He's got these guys on all levels here. Worley back in the pistol for a 2nd and 14. Snap. They'll hand off to, looks like Soto's back there now. And he falls forward, kind of trips over his own feet.
Yeah,
he's going to get a yard.
Fell down. Loss of a couple.
And that's going to put him all the way back to about the 44-yard line here. So setting up a 3rd and 16 now for the Jets. And this drive quickly kind of dispersing for them as we're approaching under 5 minutes to go in this ball game. We are about 4:45 left.
A couple of our 5A2 games tightened up a little bit here.
What do you got?
As we go. Well, Guthrie's leading Piedmont 28-7. That's extended by another touchdown, but Lawton-Ika scored a couple of times against McGinnis. It's now 28-14. And that's about midway through the 3rd quarter.
Worley back to pass here on 3rd long. He's facing pressure, jukes a couple guys, gets up to the 50 now to try to tuck and run, and he's going to get drugged down for another loss yet again. That's going to set up a 4th and long pressure immediately for the Boomers and host, bringing them down.
Looked like number 13, Bryce Coker, was in on the tackle and got the loss of 5.
And we've got a bit of an injury timeout here, it looks like, for Western Heights as they've got man down. So we'll take the break with them. This is Boomer Football on Z92.
When you're looking to take control, throw on some BF Goodrich G-Force tires. They're the very definition of performance and style and deliver exceptional wet and dry traction, handling, cutting-edge design, and real record-breaking performance. They deliver all this plus the natural confidence boost that comes with BF Goodrich tires. Go with the tires that will let you take control. Go with BF Goodrich G-Force tires. To learn more, ask a BF Goodrich tire specialist for details. BF Goodrich, take control. Available at High Plains Tire, 2220 Main Street.
And back here in Oklahoma City, Boomer Football on Southern Top 3 Z92. Back here, Boomers well in control of this one, 56-0. Currently in a bit of a timeout. Looks like one of the Western Heights linemen cramping up a bit. Yeah, tough situation because, my goodness, they've only got 20 kids. Right. You can't really sub out.
It's they're stretching him like it's a calf muscle cramped up or something. But, yeah, you look down here at these players, and, you know, there's some guys down there, I guarantee you, that never came out of this game. Special teams, offense, defense, whatever it might be. And, you know, you got some guys down there that are gassed, but they're still playing hard. They're still in the game, you know, and doing what they can do. You know, the players still down out there, and they're trying to give these guys a rest, which I don't blame them.
Nah, definitely trying to give them a breather.
We're 5 plays into this drive for Western Heights, and they've lost 2 yards so far on those 5 plays. You know, they picked up a couple of first downs. Well, I take that back. They started on their own 46, not our 46. So a net gain so far of 7 yards, 6 yards. But, you know, a couple of good running plays early, and then they made a couple of defensive adjustments, and we've come up with some tackles for loss.
And that young D-line, instant pressure. Saw Carson Hunter get a big tackle for a loss. You know, you mentioned right there before the break, Bryce Coker coming up with a sack after a couple guys in the face of Worley. So a young defense coming up in there, get some good reps, and, I mean, making the most of it. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, we got just over 4 minutes to go in the ball game, and, you know, you start kind of thinking about your next home game next week against McGinnis.
Yeah.
And, you know, McGinnis, like we said, is 28-14 over Lawton Ike right now. McGinnis came in, what, 1-2, I believe?
I believe 1-2 or 1-1 officially.
You know, 1-2, and you know, they seem to be playing tough against McGinnis right now at 28-14. They've scored a couple of times, and you know, you think about McGinnis and Carl Albert and Guthrie. Those are 3 tradition-rich programs, and over the past few years, McGinnis and Carl Albert have just kind of dominated Class 5A.
They have, yeah.
Over the past, 5 or 6 years, and, you know, now Guthrie's got a really, really good team. So, you know, the top 4 teams in this district are going to be battling all the way through the end, and you know, we could see some good football. Next week at home is Military Appreciation Night also.
Always a special one. Always a special one. Back here in Western Heights, going to take a punt. Snaps over the head, though, of Patrick Zapata. And the Boomers, almost falling. Zapata still fighting for it. This ball is rolled back inside the 30, almost to the 25. And the Boomers do wind up coming up with the stop, and they're going to go ahead and start this offensive possession inside Western Heights territory at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, the ball was just snapped over his head, and instead of just falling on it, he tried to pick it up. Of course, you know, it doesn't matter. It's either going to go over on downs, or the Boomers are going to recover the fumble, one way or the other. But they're going to start at the Western Heights 25-yard line now, and as we wind down towards 3.5 to go in the game.
Ball on the 28-yard line. They backed it up a little bit, it looks like. Either way, though, great start and field position here for the young group. Douglas going to be back in at quarterback. Got some split receivers. Man in motion. Handoff inside there. Looks like a new runner. Oh, bit of an awkward tackle on the flex coming out. That might have been a face mask.
Yeah, I think we got a face mask on it. Let's see who that runner was.
Trying to catch a good eye on it. It's definitely not Klingenpill. Trying to see. It looks like maybe 29, Travis Day, the senior.
Could be. Kind of built that way. 5'8", 195. Looks like that might be who it is.
So senior getting some reps here. Maybe did get some in most cases, so good to see that as well. Under 3 minutes to go now, and looks like they did get the flag here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Boomers now inside the 30. No, they're really moving up, excuse me. Going to be inside to the 14 with that 15-yard face mask penalty. So now in the red zone for the Boomers here, threatening to score once again. The second unit. It's going to be Douglas out there in the gun. Man in motion. It looks like it's boring across formation. Snap. They're going to try to hand off Dave. Fumble on the exchange, and it's picked up by Western Heights. Douglas there. Looks like he was trying to hand it to Day. Day didn't realize that was going to go to him. And it's put on the ground, and Western Heights will pick it up and get another offense possession.
Yeah, it was. It looked like he was trying to stick the ball on Day's stomach, and Day was expecting him to, you know, not give it and keep it. And the ball got put on the carpet. So, you know, back-to-back fumbles And now Western Heights will have the ball. What is that, 17-yard line?
Yeah, they're going to start deep in their own territory here at about that 17, as you mentioned. Just a bit of an awkward exchange from Day and Douglas there. And Day popped up like he was ready to block. So it's one of those miscommunications that you iron out. Day is going to be in at Bill Linebackers as well. Worley back in the pistol, though, for the Jets here on 1st and 10. Going to fake the handoff, and Worley's going to run over to the left side, has the space, gets up to the 20. Oh, hard hit, though.
Nice
a couple
hit
boomers
here.
Coming in and getting a good hit and taking him down for only a few-yard gain right there. It looks like Denzel Emery's out there getting some defensive snaps now. Trying to see who that was on the tackle with him.
Emery, and it looks...
It's a 20-something. Couldn't quite tell which 20, though.
Almost looks like 20... Well, no.
It's like maybe 26.
Maybe Jair Bencoma?
That might
Number
be it.
26, maybe?
It's got to be him. It looks like 26, not 25. That'd be Hillier. I believe that has Bencoma. So Worley here on 2nd down, takes a snap. He'll hand off to Chitwood. Chitwood tries to bounce off the left side. Not much there doing. He's going to get maybe a yard and finally get drugged down. Again, the Boomers right on it.
Let's see.
Peyton Carter,
number
I think.
52, Peyton Carter on the tackle.
Good pursuit from Mr. Carter from that D-line position. And that's what you like to see, setting up a 3rd and 4 now for Western Heights. Under a minute to go in this one, as play clocks and game clocks running down here very quickly. Boomers leading, of course, 56-0. They will win this one and advance to 2-2. Western Heights going to fall to 0-4, and Woodward going to pick up that all-important 1-0 to start out in the district. Worley here on 3rd and 4, takes a snap from the pistol. He's going to roll out to the right side. He's going to go ahead and tuck it and run. Get a little bit of blockers. Gets across the 30, 35, gets to the 40, 45, gets up to the 50, breaks the tackle. Now to the 45, 40. Trying to make another move. Gets into the 35-yard line into Boomer territory, but we do have a flag way back here at the 28-yard line of the Jets. So this one might be coming back. Either way, though, great run by Worley.
It was a good run. That's back in the area of holding. It's a big first down, big run. The Whitehat still looking over to the linesman to see. Hasn't come and talked to him. It could have been I don't know.
They're signaled against Western Heights.
Hold.
Call. Yep, there it is. So it's going to back it up, unfortunately, for Western Heights. Heard the crowd, though. You're right, Ralph. This team is going to score at some point in the season. This crowd is going to explode if they do it at home. So you like to see that. Hey, encouraging those kids. Homecoming night. I want to see that moment for sure.
26 seconds to go.
See where they sit this up at, because it's going to be spot penalty marked off. It's going to put them all the way back to essentially where they started. This is going to be at the 18-yard line now of in Western Heights territory. So their own 18 instead of the Boomer 35. 1st and 10, clock is running. About a game play clock's about a second ahead of the game clock here. Worley in the pistol. Going to take the snap, hand off to Chitwood. Chitwood's going to bounce it outside to the right side. Cut it back inside, fight through a couple of tacklers. Still chugging his feet going. Gets to the 30, 35, still going. Finally gets up to the 40 and gets struck down at the 42-yard line. Tough run. And that's probably going to do it. Oh, clock is going to stop with 4 seconds, of course, on the first down, and they've got to spot the ball first.
24-yard run, like I said, there's no quit in them. They're still out there fighting away and busting away.
See if they get one more playoff here or not.
Doesn't look like they will.
3, 2, 1, and that's going to be the ball game. The Boomers are going to win this one 56-0 over the Western Heights Jets. Boomers are going to go 2-2 overall, 1-0 in the district. Western Heights going to fall to 0-4, 0-1 in the district. We'll go ahead, take a break, come back, and get some post-game wrap-up with you guys and get you set up for what's ahead and what's coming up. It's Boomer Football on Z92.
So, what's the asking price on these houses?
You'd probably be more comfortable living somewhere else.
How long is the lease?
Don't worry about it. I moved the spot up into the post game, so we're good.
Yeah. This neighborhood probably wouldn't be right for your kids.
If a real estate or rental agent is anything like this, you are being discriminated against, and it is illegal. If you experience housing discrimination, go to HUD.gov/fair housing and report it. Fair housing. The law is on your side. A message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
For 50 years, the McClellan Kerr Arkansas River Navigation System in East.
I got 2 post-game breaks, but they're all PSAs, so I can do whatever you want.
From the Midwest to the Gulf of Mexico and the world. Shipping on this Oklahoma waterway means good business. With an economic impact in the billions, this transportation gem is a mighty river, the M-Carns. Celebrating 50 years.
Okay, I'll clear it out, and we'll go back to programming after this.
This is Jamie Foxx, and I want to help you take control of something very important, your health. If you're 45 or older, you need to get yourself screened for colon cancer. This disease can be very treatable when caught early, so the sooner you know what's up with your health, the better. The good news is that there's options for getting screened that are easier than you think. Get informed. Hey, we're all busy, and we think, when would we fit it in, bro? Make the time. It just might mean more time with your family down the road. If you're a man or woman, 45 or older, I'm talking to you. I've lost good friends, young friends, to colon cancer. Don't make the mistake of waiting until you have symptoms or think that you have no risk because it doesn't run in your family. Everybody needs to be screened. So, take control.
Here to Boomer football as we're wrapping this one up. Ron Sutherland, Tyler Riggs with you. The Boomers, of course, take a 56-0 win over Western Heights in this one. Coming on a 2-hour road trip and taking care of business mentally. Taking care of the business trip. Ron, kind of some of the final thoughts, final takeaways here on this one.
Well, the Boomers came in, did what they needed to do. They didn't make mistakes. It was just a workmanlike win for the Boomers in a game that they were supposed to win and that they were supposed to win big. And they came down, took care of business. I think got out without any injuries. Got some looks at some guys. They were able to do some things, perfect some things, and come away with the victory. Denzel Emery had 2 touchdowns tonight, including the opening 95-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He also had a 1-yard run back in the first quarter. Parker Schmitz had a 10-yard, it was basically a jet sweep, but a jet sweep pass for 10 yards for Parker Schmitz. Lucas Shirkey with an interception return for a touchdown. Wyatt Pope had a 38-yard touchdown run. And Taylon Laird had 3 touchdowns, 2 passes, and punt return.
Yeah,
I could.
We're going to get to it.
Yeah, I know his return. I was trying to say punt. But anyway, 8 touchdowns for the Boomers. Took care of business. They did the job on defense. Western Heights was really never able to get things going on defense, and so Boomers come away with an expected win.
And of course, next week, as we mentioned a little bit before the end of the game, they're going to be hosting Bishop McGinnis up in Woodward. It's going to be Military Appreciation Night, always a special night. Something that's been catching on more and more kind of across the area. Always a good, trying to remember the organization. I apologize for that.
Warriors for Freedom.
Warriors for Freedom, yes.
And Wounded Warrior Project. They come in, we raise money for them, and in fact, it's a Woodward native who kind of spearheads that, and Brett Dick. And, those guys, they always do a great job. The Boomers do a great job in that. And it's always a special night honoring some of our veterans on the field. So, come out and see that next week at home, 7 o'clock at Boomer Stadium. Since we spoke last time, Boomers' next opponent have scored twice. So now McGinnis leads Lot Knight 42-14. So it looks like McGinnis will come in at an even 2-2 next week when they come into Boomer Stadium. Also, Carl Albert has scored a couple of more times. They lead 42-6 over Guyman, and Guthrie and Piedmont still at 28-7, and that game is into the fourth quarter.
There's a good wrap up there on 5A2. McGinnis probably going to be rolling in as the top 10 team in 5A next week as the Boomers host them. I do want to remind you, too, tomorrow you can catch the Cowboys hosting Kansas State right here on Z92. Pregame going to be at 4 o'clock, and then kickoff following at 6. You also see the Dallas Cowboys coming up on Monday night on Z92. They will be at home against the Eagles. We will have the radio feed for that live here about pregame should be about 6:45. Kickoff there around 7:15. Of course, want to thank our great sponsors one more time. High Plains Tire, our gold sponsor, AAA Insurance, Northwest Physical Therapy, High Plains Technology Center, Dairy Queen, our halftime sponsor, Stewart's Auto Glass, Goins Home Furnishing, K&S Tire, Harper Sanitation, and Bentech Hometown Insurance. Want to thank, of course, Boomer TV today, making the trip, helping us out here as they do. Chris Godwin, Kurt Province leading that, as long as a couple great students as well helping out. Glad to always have them on. Ron, fantastic as usual tonight. You kept up. You're riding furiously in that first half and somehow survived, so we appreciate that.
Well, good night of Boomer football.
For sure. Got to shout out Ty Albers back at the studio, the man himself, the board op. Very important role, folks. I'm telling you can't have a good production without having a good board op, so we appreciate Mr. Albers.
Covers up all of our mistakes.
Yes, it does very well. And, of course, shout out to Sean Kelly, Trick Caldwell, CJ, Benita Gonzalez, Sean Miller, Kathy Reese back there at the studio making everything go all across our station. Speaking of course, after this, you can flip over to K101. You can catch some Friday Night Quick Scores wrap-up, and we will be getting into the fifth quarter at 10 o'clock as well. And with that, we also thank all the great Boomer fans, alumni, family, all those that listen to us out there and continue to support what we do here. Everybody have a safe trip home if you're listening on your way back. And for all those already at home, we will catch you next week. Pregame at 6:30, kickoff at 7 as the now 2-2 Boomers 1-0 in district will host Bishop McGuinness. For Ron Sutherland, for myself, Tyler Riggs, thank you.